On today's video, we continue our coverage of Lost Kingdom 52 as once more we have massive amounts of rallies all over the place, reports with a ton of awesome insight, as well as a fight of a Theodora and YSS maxed out expertise against an Takeda. Did they do good or not? We got that report and that footage. We're also going to cover why Richard and Constantine were used, as well as go over a few things that were discussed with some folks in 411. So sit back, drop a like on the video. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Today we continue our coverage of Lost Kingdom 52. Before we start, I'm a sponsored content creator by Rise of Kingdoms. If you enjoy the content, consider dropping a like on the video, subscribe to the channel down below, hit the bell to get a notification when we upload a new video. 62% of you are not subscribed to the channel yet. Welcome to all of you new viewers. I hope to earn your subscription today. Very briefly, I want to address 3 comments from the last video. Every time you leave me feedback in the channel, I do my very best to reply to you as well as to implement changes. Brand new bottom bar. We've been working on it for a bit. The reason there's a bottom bar is my phone is a 16:10 resolution phone. So when I record, there's black bars at the top and at the bottom. What I do is I push the footage up, put the overlay at the bottom instead of a black bar. I'm working on resizing the footage a little bit to see if we can get it so that the bottom bar is smaller. Thank you for that feedback. Second thing, someone mentioned about me scrolling through the reports a bit too fast. I agree. Thank you for mentioning that. Pointing that out. For future reference, I will make sure to slow down to show the main part of the report a bit longer for us to discuss it a bit longer. This time around, I already recorded all of it and I don't have all the reports on me, but you are right. I will make sure to address that in future videos. Thank you for that feedback as well. And finally, if you're one of the brain dead people who's been commenting, why are you watching KVKs and not fighting your own? Realize that this KVK is happening while I am stuck in zone 1 of my KVK. My KVK hasn't started yet. What do you want me to do? You want me to go kill my own alliance? You want me to go kill my own kingdom? What do you want me to kill? What do you want me to fight? These guys are fighting in a KVK that started a month and so before mine even started, and this is even like a week old. So do yourselves a favor. Either figure out what's going on in game, or stop being brain dead, or hit that unsubscribe button and go find someone else to watch, really. With that being said, let's get into this video's content. The first part of it, YSS and Theodora taking a massive hit. There is not only one, but I believe there are 2 rallies going up on top of this flag. And the funny thing of all this is that there is a counter rally rallying the rally, and I believe there is a second counter rally rallying the rally. There are 2 counter rallies rallying the main rally from 411S. These guys were going at it for a while. I could have sworn YSS and Theodora would have held, but as it turns out, having the right commanders at the right time and watching the right content creation that's being made about these commanders and thinking they're the best out there is not necessarily true. And I'm saying that about myself too, because I could have sworn these guys would do much better. But as it turns out, 15 million to the 21.7 million losses, YSS Theodora took a huge beating out of this Takeda, which is a fairly decent Takeda. I've seen stronger for sure. And this begs the question as to what happened here. Bear in mind what you see in there. Again, I scrolled a bit too fast. Apologies for that. You'll see also 2 counter rallies hitting this rally in this report. When you're talking about Garrison is a little bit of a complex situation. The reason it's a complex situation is because unlike a rally, once the rally drops below a certain number, the rally leader can cancel the rally, and that's essentially mitigating the pain. When you are garrisoning, on the other hand, mitigating the pain is not easy at all because there's no way to just stop the defense, right? You can retreat your troops and then whatever is left there is going to get wrecked, right? And so having the right commanders is not the only answer. You have to have the right commanders for sure, but you also have to have the right reinforcements, the right types of troops, the right amount of people and the right amount of reinforcements consistently, or else you're going to get smacked. Now, one of the things that report doesn't show is, for example, how long was that flag under 50% troops? or less than that. Maybe at some point that flag only had like 3 marches, 600k troops in there, 900k troops in there, and that Atelier Takeda was full and it was just destroying stuff, and those folks took a massive loss. And so when you're defending, the reason reports for Garrison are very, very sketchy and tricky is because to guarantee you have a very good garrison, you must have the right type of troops, the right composition of troops, and the right amount of troops at all times to guarantee success. Watch those 2 rallies just go by. We're going to go take a look at one of them in a second. But you have to be able to guarantee the success of your garrison by ensuring whatever you're garrisoning is consistently full with the right types of troops and the right amounts. Having the right commanders is not enough. And so having the Charles Martel, Charles Martel, YSS Theodora, Artemisia YSG, all that is fantastic. But if your flag is not consistently above 80% troops, meaning there's always someone waiting to get into that flag, then, and the rally is definitely much fuller than your flag is, then you have a huge problem. And it really doesn't matter how strong the rally is or which type of commanders they're using if your garrison is not 100% or 80%. One of those conversations happened with myself and Ark today. Ark, one of the leaders in Kingdom 411. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you for always being so cool and chatting with me and telling me some strategies and having a good conversation about the game. We talked about kind of like why they used Richard Constantine, and we will go over that in this video as well in a little bit, so make sure you stick around for that. But one of the things he mentioned was you have to realize that specific commanders and specific pairs are good for specific situations, and when you have a kingdom that is capable of doing certain things at a certain pace, then commanders that are used are less limited. And I'm being cryptic for a reason because I want to get to that subject momentarily, but it's an important thing to understand that in this case, we see 1.2 million troops in a flag. And so 1.2 million troops in a flag, even with a Charles Martel Constantine, will do nothing compared to a 2 million Atelier Takeda rally. There's no way for that rally, for that defense to be successful, even when it has all the correct type of troops. It just didn't have enough troops in this particular report to be able to get a good trade. That negative trade wasn't that crazy considering the fact that that flag was not full a good portion of the time for the report to come out that way. There's also a counter rally coming up against this rally and all that good stuff. But again, when it comes to garrison and report analysis, unfortunately, I don't do a good enough job showing you reports, and I will improve on that as well. But you really need to be able to get access to these reports in a much more detailed manner to understand what happened. Now, one of the things that I am planning, I have something coming up into our Discord. Shout out to verification, that always pops at the worst time. Linked in the description down below is our Discord. I'm working on something that's going to go up there in a very, very soon, I hope. And that will hopefully have a very good impact on your ability to read reports and see situations and get yourselves a little bit more of an understanding as to what happened at any time. Now, unfortunately, Lilith limits our ability to read reports because they don't really tell us like the timeline of when troops joined, what they joined. You have it up on the top kind of thing, and that's one of the things that I'm going to have in my project that I'm working on for the Discord regarding reports. But it's tough to read situations. We really need to understand how to read the situation better. Working on that to ensure that you all have a better experience reading reports. But just, again, we're going back into that. Keep it in your mind that not everything you see is exactly 100% true or 100% black and white. In this scenario, 430 found themselves at the first time that I actually saw them potentially being able to take a huge advantage. There were two flags, two 411K flags that were right next to each other. And those flags were crossing two different 430 flags. M430 and A430. They had the capability of double rallying both these flags. In the previous video, I had mentioned to you all that, in my opinion, 430 did not take advantage enough of this opportunity to inflict worlds of damage, and they just weren't coordinated enough with their rallies. This allowed 411 to counter rally a rally, and then the next 430 rally would come out, and they were never synced. There were a couple of times that they synced decently well, but really and this is not disrespecting 430. This is like a positive feedback to them for them to improve and get better with, and for you all too. If you are playing against one of these top tier kingdoms, you're gonna have to play at the top tier level, and that means voice chat among your rally leaders and better coordination with anchors for rallies. And you can see that bottom flag is getting now rallied by 430A, A430, but M430's rally just died a few moments ago. You need to get that sync down a little bit better. In my opinion, 430 could have inflicted a whole lot of damage. Like, they could have actually inflicted a good amount of damage more by double rallying these flags at a very, very coordinated rate, because that would have split 411K to have to defend both the flags at the same time against double rallies, which wouldn't have been that easy. Both of these flags are being held by a Richard Constantine, and it is time to talk about why that happened. And we have a couple of Richard Constantine reports in this video. I believe we have at least one, but I'm pretty sure there are two of them in here. One of the things that I've discussed with ARC was the fact that 411K needed to essentially slow down the pace of 430 to allow the other alliances that were part of 411 that were assisting their allies to have the time to get rid of the rest of the darkness team. Now, what ended up happening here was that 411, a kingdom that has multiple alliances available for fights, had split themselves so that 411K were going against 430, 411L I believe were going against 432. Don't quote me on that. I don't know who went where, but one of the alliances in 411K was in charge of helping against the other side, against pink. And so, against purple, not pink. And so what ended up happening is that 411K's strategy was, we want to slow the pace of 430 as much as humanly possible so our other alliances can take care of that side, and then we can all come in and get rid of 430. There is nothing better for delaying than Richard. Richard is a tank that loves to delay. Why? Because he keeps healing troops at a stupid rate. So if you're trying to heal, to delay tactics, Richard is the #1 guy. Now, obviously, Richard is not the greatest garrison commander because you're essentially healing slightly wounded troops, which can then become dead or severely wounded. It's not a very recommended thing to do in general. However, one of the things that ARC mentioned, and we talked about it earlier in this video, is you need to understand situational strategies, right? The current situational strategy was that 411K were okay with losing a few more troops towards severely and dead from slightly wounded in return for delaying 430's probability of pushing, right? Their ability to push. And so Richard Constantine did a really good job at that. On top of that, 411 were very capable of maintaining their flags at an 80% plus occupancy rate. And one of the things they found out is that so long as they maintain their flags at a full 100% full or 80% consistently no matter what, then Richard and Constantine trade negatively, but they don't trade negatively at a very bad rate. They trade negatively at a 5 to 10%-ish difference, which if you're trying to delay, you're willing to take that small hit in order to delay the push. And so this is not a Richard Constantine report just yet. You'll get a couple of them coming up very soon. But the bottom line is, as long as they manage, they hit all the nails on the head properly. They had the right types of troops in the flag, they had the right amounts of troops in the flag consistently, and they had the right tier troops. So they maintained a good balance of tier 5s, tier 4s. They had infantry in there consistently, 100% infantry, and 80% plus occupancy on the flags, no matter what. There was always someone ready to get into that flag again. The really, really big pain happens when the flag occupancy goes down. Here is one of those reports. You can see they actually traded positively in this scenario, a 202,000 dead compared to the 250, but the power loss there was okay. Let's say that the differences were not amazing. You have one more in here. I believe this is the same report. I guess we went through the same report twice. We can see them again. Again, all the stats, I didn't notice this up until now. Apologies for showing you the same report twice. But yeah, it goes to show you that there is abilities to get commanders to do certain things for you without them being the best commanders for it. We literally saw in this video a Richard Constantine do better holding a Tell Takeda than a YSS Theodora. Kind of nuts, right? The two situations were completely different, and so also the numbers that you see are completely different. And this was really, really cool to see from 411. It's one of those things that they also kind of wanted to share with the community. Ark mentioned to me that he wants me to share this for the community to see a little bit more how situations can vary and how you need to be able to come up with strategies, commander pairs, and meta, essentially, that is situational. 411 realized that they're okay with a Richard Constantine as long as they maintain the flags consistently full. They realized that when they see a YSS and Theodora on a flag, they're going to need a little bit more tier 5 presence. Look at this massive rally. 30 million power out the window for 430. That's a painful rally right there. Here, a double rally finally hitting like it should, that flag, and you can see a massive, massive difference in the way the flag is working now. I can promise to you guys that report right there, which I don't have, was completely nasty towards the favor of 430. And you can see that the first rally is going down much quicker, and I believe it also disbanded already. The flag is going down quicker than the rallies did, which is, again, a testament to the situation. A double rally against a Artemisia YSG, I believe that is. Yeah, that is an Artemisia YSG. Double rally on that flag. I believe we do have that report somewhere. I remember seeing this report. It traded favorably for Artemisia, and the reason for that was that if you keep an eye on the troops coming into that flag, they consistently kept coming in. And even though the health bar seems to be super low, if you remember from previous videos, and if you don't know this, the health bar takes into account all of the troops that were in the building, so that could be a full flag with a red health bar. With that said, there's like double rallies up on the top, rally on the flag there, rally on the flag here, rallies all over the place, and we have a ton more reports to show you, as well as a lot more footage. I think that overall in this KVK, 430 performed really well. They went up against a kingdom that is super stacked, that is very well coordinated, that did insane amounts of tests on level 1 passes for rallies, for commander pairs, for situations. They went through seeing how much occupancy they need in certain buildings, how much occupancy. These guys really did their homework. 411 really did their homework. So 430 found themselves going up against a giant, a real giant in this game, and held up very well. And so big kudos to 430 in this frontier. There was also other frontiers that fought against 411 very well, but we focused primarily on this one, and a massive shout out goes to 430. They're a very strong kingdom. They're very capable. They took up 411 like no one's business. A lot of other kingdoms would have bailed out of a fight very early on, and these guys really did good. Of course, these flags all ended up burning up. It's just the trades were favorable until they weren't anymore, right? That bottom flag was very favorable for a while, and once it burns, the problem is though, once it burns, the favorability goes down drastically. I believe that in that report, if I'm not mistaken, it still traded favorably even though the flag burned, but the trade-off was massively better before the flag got down to burning situation, because once it's under 50%, the losses that happen are just stupid big. That's the problem with Garrison. The problem with Garrison is that once you drop below a 50% occupancy, whoever is in there is just a slaughter fest. And unlike a rally that you can just cancel up, look at this. We just literally scrolled up 2 more flags getting rallied. There was a double rally that we saw down at the bottom, and then one on the side. There was a double rally on a 411 flag that ended. We scrolled up. There's another 430 flag getting rallied there. There's another one getting rallied by 411. By 430, that's a 411K flag. There's another rally marching downwards. Rallies all over the damn place. If y'all want to see one more piece of this, we have tons of reports still to show you that and a lot more footage. Make sure you're smashing a like on this video. We will perhaps upload another one of these videos as things got a bit laggy towards this time because more and more people got on and it just got crazy. So this is where we're going to cut this off for today. We'll potentially upload another one tomorrow if you guys really enjoy this. So make sure you drop a like on this video. Maybe we'll drop one on Sunday to make things a bit more more interesting. We don't need a double upload as we stream on Saturday 4 p.m. UTC. See you all there. More rallies all over the place. Sunday, one more of these with a ton more reports. 430, 411, any other reports y'all want to send, this is the time. You have been doing it since that last video, and so I keep recording more and more reports. And this time around, I'll record them a bit slower for y'all, like y'all mentioned. Thank you for all your continuous support lately. Thank you for being such awesome community, helping this channel grow, helping my dream come true slowly and steadily, helping me build a house for the fam. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for all your feedback. I'm always looking for it in the comments down below to improve the content, to make things more pleasurable and entertaining for y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow on stream. Take care, have a great rest of your week, and enjoy your weekend. Peace.